News Alert. You are looking live at the United Nations. Iran's President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad is getting ready to take to the podium, this time before the UN General Assembly. The speech could happen at any moment. Of course, we will bring that to you live. Now, a guy who promises to wipe Israel off the map isn't necessarily a friend of Israel. Reaction now from former Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Prime Minister, what do you think of the fact that he's pretty much greeted as a rock star here?
Well, I think it shows a confusion by some about the nature of democracies. Democracies have to protect themselves. They place limits on free speech. You can't shout fire in a crowded theater. You don't invite people to universities to expound their views on murder or genocide or, for that matter, pedophilia. You just don't do that. There are people who are beyond the pale, who advocate or commit crimes that are beyond the pale, and you keep them beyond the pale, and that is part of the self-protection of democracies, and I'm afraid that line has been crossed.
You know, there are a lot of people who also say, Prime Minister, that just by having him here, and he kind of embarrassed himself yesterday at Columbia University, as many people argue Hugo Chavez did last year with the sulfur and satanic references to President Bush. Nikita Khrushchev years before that, banging his, shoe on a table, that let them have their day and their way and let the world see what they're really like. What do you say?
It's a major mistake. First of all, there's something uniquely different here, because Ahmadinejad is expounding a fanatic doctrine of genocide. He's developing nuclear weapons to achieve it. He's denying the Holocaust. Imagine somebody who denied that slavery existed and would say that he wants to wipe an African nation off the face of the earth and was building nuclear weapons for that effect. You wouldn't invite him. Colombia would not invite him. I think that's clear. And I think this is a crossing of a line. And perhaps there's another insidious attitude that says, well, he's not really serious. He's a joker. And he's a funny little man. And that's what they said about another dictator in the 1930s, that he was a funny little man. He's not really serious. He can talk. We can have him over. We can hear him expound his views. He's not really harmful. It turns out, of course, that the previous engagement with a global-minded fanaticism resulted in the greatest tragedies the world has known. And that funny little man, Hitler, turned out to be not funny at all.
Well,
and I think when somebody like Ahmadinejad, well, I think that's the point. People tend to dismiss or marginalize this, and they say, well, it's not really important. It's how he comes off on TV. No, it's not. It's not how he comes off on TV. It's what he's doing to his own people. It's what he's planning to do to peace in the Middle East. It's what he's planning to do to obliterate, in this case, my country, but also to reestablish a caliphate, a medieval caliphate that spans across Europe. These are mad thoughts, but mad thoughts with the hands of a dictator who's developing nuclear weapons to achieve them can endanger the entire world, and that should not be tolerated. He should not have been invited to Colombia. He should not be given a platform of legitimacy.
All right, Mr. Prime Minister, always good seeing you. Thank you for